Brandy. I'm the 100 Proof Quilter, and this is my quilting corner. Today we're going to talk about, well, me and my channel. I'm going to tell you what my channel is all about. So my channel is a learn as you go. As I learn things, I share them. I do unboxings. I do lives on Monday in my quilting corner, Coffee with Brandy. It's at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I do template reviews. I love my templates. Those are just some that are on the wall. I have my favorites in my pocket. I do sporadic other ones. I'm trying to get more consistent. Horrible about consistency. I do work an overnight shift, so some of these videos are made in the middle of the night for posting during daylight hours. Let's see, about me. There's some different little things that I do just a little bit different. One of the things I do different is I call my seam ripper a divorce lawyer. You ask, why do I do that? This is why I do that. When I sew a seam together, I call it marrying the seam. Why do I call it marrying the seam? Because I feel like a quilt, when it's all sewn together, is like a marriage that lasts forever and ever and ever. Some of us have quilts that we're not even sure who in our family made. We find antique quilts that are still together that just have little frays from little things. So when I have to tear a seam apart, I feel like I'm tearing asunder a marriage. So I call it the divorce lawyer, have to get him out. So I call marrying a seam the divorce lawyer. I also call putting heat on a seam or a piece of fabric, giving it a little love, you know, kind of like heating up the stuff, you know, give it a little love. Those are just some of the little terms that I use. They're a little bit different than some of the other people that I've watched their channels and seen them sew. But you know, I've always been a little bit different, and that's okay with me. A little bit about my journey. In 2020, I had to have an emergency hysterectomy, which put me a little bit out, and I couldn't do a whole lot, and I got really bored really quick. I asked my husband to grab my mother-in-law's sewing machine that was in the garage, and when he got it out, it didn't work. So I took to YouTube, trying to figure out how it worked. So I found lots of videos, and I got it to work. But while I was cruising those videos, I ran across Missouri Star. And yep, Jenny Doan, you heard, yep, I sure did. I ran across her, Angela Walters, Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics, and started watching them and was like, wow, I bet I could do that. Not even knowing what different feet meant, I started my quilting journey. Went to Walmart, grabbed some fat quarters that I thought, hey, these are cute. Let's see what we can make. Just made a quilt out of my head. I think I have a short down here. It's probably the first short I ever posted about that journey. I did take out the part about me trying to use cardboard instead of a cutting mat. That did not turn out so good with a rotary cutter. Don't suggest you do that. However, as time wore on, I discovered that I really, really liked this. And while I had lots of learning curves and I'm still learning, I'm not half bad at it, and I enjoy it. And that, more than anything, that's what I like, is that I enjoy it. I like my time in my sewing room, and I love the joy of putting together works of art. No matter what anybody calls it, you are taking pieces of fabric and you're putting them together and you're making works of art. Just like a painter who has an easel and takes paints and puts them together, you're taking splashes of color and fabric designs and putting them together and making something totally unique and totally different and totally you. Because nobody sewed a seam like you sewed that seam. Nobody put, even if you followed a pattern, that is uniquely yours, because on the inside, nobody put it together like you did. So while it may look like somebody else's, you did that. One of the other things that I do, and while this one, it has a white background, I tend to use black backgrounds or dark backgrounds. I like the way colors pop. for darker fabrics. I do have an off-white fabric that I do use, but I like to be a little bit different. That's just me. I think I gravitate towards the dark colors because I think it makes the lighter colors pop. And I use white when I have dark colors. So, I mean, I think that's how I roll. So today, for those of you that watch this, I have a special surprise. Comment below what you call your seam ripper. Now remember, I call mine the divorce lawyer, but you tell me what you call your seam ripper. And in a week, yeah, let's do a week. In a week, I will do a random comment picker and I will send you this unopened, unused seam ripper. It's got a nice fat handle. Throw it around. And I'll send this to you. So, comment below what you call your seam ripper. And I'll draw to see who gets that in 1 week's time. I can send to the continental US and Canada. I can't send anywhere else. So, don't forget, comment below what you call your seam ripper and I will draw comments in 1 week's time. So, as I always say, go out there, find some gorgeous fabric, marry some beautiful seams, try not to spend too much time with that divorce lawyer, make some fabulous quilts, and I'll see you next time.